There's no ceasefire in place by tomorrow, which was the previously stated deadline in order to forestall sanctions by the U.S. Are sanctions going to be imposed tomorrow, either secondary or any other sort?
A lot of speculation involved there. I'm not going to speculate from here.
Which was the previously stated deadline in order to forestall sanctions by the U.S. Are sanctions going to be imposed tomorrow, either secondary or any other sort?
A lot of speculation involved there. I'm not going to speculate from here.
I mean, it's a pretty hard deadline by the president, and administration officials had indicated they were expected to be put in place.
Well, as you said, assuming, that's kind of where I draw the line in terms of speculation. Yeah. I'll refer to the White House to speak more to the president and defer to the president. I want to get ahead of him, but not going to speculate from here.
What is your level of trust to Putin that he is not, engaging in another delaying tactic here? And how over-optimistic, or will it be over-optimistic for us to expect anything out of this meeting, potential meeting?
Well, it's not a question of trust, it's a question of actions. The president has described how he's been disappointed in the actions that we have seen from Russia over recent weeks. He's talked about seeing actions, not just words. He's described that himself. So this is not a question of trust per se. This is a question of seeing actions to match up the words, but also is indicative of the commitment that we have made clear from the beginning of this administration, that we stand ready to aid in the pursuit of peace, to try to end this conflict, stop the carnage. That is our driving policy here. That remains our driving policy. And getting the sides to the table is key to reaching a diplomatic solution to this conflict. So it's not about trust, it's about action, and it's about doing everything we can to aid in the pursuit of peace and bring this war to an end.
President Trump and the potential summit with Russian leader Vladimir Putin. I know White House officials have said that for that meeting to take place, Putin needs to be willing to meet with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. But I was wondering, can you put a fine point on that? Is there any world in which this summit between President Trump and President Putin can happen without Putin agreeing to a Zelensky meeting as well?
Well, I'm going to refer you to the White House on that one for details on the president's schedule. What I can say is, looking backwards, as the secretary has described, we have been in continual communication with our partners in Europe, continual communication with Ukraine. Our ultimate goal is to end this conflict, get the parties to the table, see the ceasefire and the long and enduring peace. But for details on the president's schedule, I'll refer you to the White House. Yes.
Hi, Tommy. Rachel with Lilly Broadcasting. Good to see you. In regards to Ukraine, does the secretary have any maybe scheduling a chance meeting with his counterpart, with Ukrainian officials, or with any Russian officials?
I have nothing to preview in terms of his schedule at this point.
Okay.
So we've seen in the war in Ukraine a big division in Europe and the inability to sort it out. And how much the issue that we're seeing in Europe, this division, forced the president of the United States to take it over and say, hey, I have to deal with this, and try to meet Putin, because the Europeans were unable to kind of put on the table Zelensky and Putin.
Well, the president has been clear he wants to see our European partners step up in a variety of different areas. We saw, for example, the recent NATO deal in terms of weapons being sold to NATO, and then they can then give those weapons to who they wish. The president is a deal maker, as the secretary was describing just yesterday. He is a deal maker, and he's able to reach deals on behalf of the American people, but then also that lead to a safer world. So the president stands ready, like I said, to aid in the pursuit of this peace, but he has also been clear that we need to see our European partners stepping up in terms of defense spending, in terms of a whole variety of other measures here. And that remains in terms of needing to see our European partners also step up.
Subscribe to Oneindia and never miss an update. Download the Oneindia app now.